Okay, welcome to episode 47 of the 248k run on a Ribbon World with a bit of a train grid, standing around in kind of the home station where these things kind of get generally centralized and stuff like that. And yeah, a bit of stuff happened between the last couple episodes. I think the entire of mining productivity 3 has gone past, which is pretty cool. That's going to be a useful thing. I think I've now got 6 of these trains with these train nuclear reactors, because these train nuclear reactors are kind of expensive. And so there's my personal train here, and then I think iron and copper, iron plates and copper plates have both gone to, yeah, I think there's 3 of these trains on copper and 2 of these trains on iron, and they're a bit more zippy now, probably, and those are the first 6 trains, and we're going to swap some of those around when we get more stuff. And yeah, today's one of the days where we don't really have the stuff. In fact, I did notice some other things about iron and copper when I was setting this up, so I'm actually going to prepare for... I'm going to go request a bunch of things that we can come back and do. Do I want... How many of these... There were... I did figure out exactly how many of... Okay, not how many of these things I wanted, but which tiers of these things I wanted. Do I actually... I don't know if I need those ones. Yeah, I had some plans for better moduling of the iron and copper and steel, which we'll get to in a bit. The other thing that happened is we did push out to the west quite a lot. Like, I talked about doing that, and I think we started... I think there was one here and a couple of here we pushed in the episode, and then we kept going, and we found some more water, and then we got like this far, and this is into behemoth worm territory. Yeah, these are all landmine ghosts. I ran out of stuff a couple of times and had to come back. What's interesting is, okay, first of all, this would be some exciting water if we didn't already have water on the other side, but the big metal patches are pretty close. But we also probably want to start... Yeah, we want to start building this grid out, because, like, I think I'm going to have to visit this spot again during the episode, partly to clear out these landmine ghosts, partly to check what the Evo is, because I'm kind of interested, partly also because there's probably just unrestricted expansion happening through here that I might need to be a little more careful if I'm dealing with bots and stuff, building out rail grids. But the thing I wanted to do first, yeah, rail grids, is... Let's get rid of that. I'm pretty sure I had a buffer chest somewhere, maybe only one of them. I don't remember where it is, but it's probably in storage. Oh yeah, then the other things I wanted to do was, yeah, test out some of these trains. So the bot's going to bring me this train. They're probably going to bring this train? Yeah, so what I wanted here was... Oh, I still got all this combat stuff. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of stuff to kind of get. Actually, if I'm going back out to the front, I may as well keep some amount of that. Yeah, sure. Okay, so this buffer chest, if we're doing grid stuff, then what I want is I want like 2,000 rail and like, let's just say 150 of each of these and the other rail signals, and then let's also say these power poles, which the grid uses, are going to probably be another some number, and then also roboports. We probably want a lot, but then we want to copy this configuration before the bots bring too many things, because what we really want to do is put this buffer chest down over here. So yeah, so now I need to give that buffer chest, because I think that's the only buffer chest that I have. Let's get rid of some of this other stuff as well. I thought I saw other things that I wanted to get rid of in main infantry. Maybe fluid wagons? Whatever. Yeah, so that buffer chest will go down a long way to the west, and then logistics bots will bring... I mean, this could have been even further. It could have been like over here or something. Yeah, logistics bots will bring all that stuff, which means construction bots will go backwards and forwards to this box. Actually, let's also give them a couple of storage boxes here, because they're going to be picking up trees and stone and stuff like that. And yeah, this is still getting a bunch of stuff delivered. Oh well. In the meantime, let's muck around with these trains a little, to figure out if they are, like, how much better they are. Because they seem to have like the same top speed, and then a bit more acceleration power and a bit more weight. So then the other thing I wanted to check was, do these numbers, maybe because they haven't been used yet, because I'm not seeing the fuel bonuses on there. Okay, so now I'm actually using these things. We've got the fuel bonuses on this train as well, and they seem, you know, kind of okay. Are these better or worse than regular trains? Not sure. Okay, so they're a bit better, aren't they? Not sure how much of that is because of the fuel. They've got better top speed. The acceleration power has kind of been roped back in comparison, like yeah, yeah. Whereas these ones with the turbochargers are considerably zippier. But none of that zip actually shows up on the vehicle's stats block. Okay, sure. That test was in fact sufficient for me to confirm that I am happy trying to migrate all these things to these expensive. We're not going to need that anymore. Yeah, trying to migrate all these things to these expensive new diesel trains when I can, although I also can't really afford the superchargers yet. Well, no, it's not superchargers. They've got like stacks of the turbochargers, the nuclear train reactor things. Okay, so let's give some of those back. I've still got, yeah, I'm probably going to be using those other trains for things, aren't I? Anyway, okay, things to go and do. I think the first thing we're going to go and do. Oh, you can't actually use that at all. Maybe I should have this here, and then maybe this I should have my actual train that I'm using to do that. But I don't want any of those. Okay, is this is still not receiving all of the Stokes modules. Okay, fine. We're just going to go visit the module extensions place, because the first thing we're doing is kind of in this direction anyway. Yeah, here's where they are. Okay, because one of the interesting things that I spotted is my module 2s, yeah, my beacon cores are, you know, doing what they need to. This is kind of lower. I don't think I've got nearly enough of these red cube ticks to be doing the stuff yet. But the thing that I noticed is, yeah, this thing, I've actually chewed through all of my uranium, not even the interesting uranium, the boring uranium, and there's not even, like, there's a bit over here, but there's really not that much. It's just straight up, we're just not processing this fast enough. So this is, yeah, there's going to be a couple of things we do today that are going to be, let's actually leave that there. Yeah, do I need these? I don't know if I need these. Yeah, a couple of things we do today in the theme of, hey, let's not bother changing any of the builds. Let's just see if we can get more stuff out of them. And this also made it look like, yeah, these red chips are also unhappy. That is one of the other things that I noticed is, the red chips are unhappy because of plastic, because of gas. Yeah, I haven't really done any petrochem stuff for a while, have I? That might also be another thing we module differently. But yeah, I think the first thing we're going to do is, the reason why I requested all these modules is, what kind of modules do I want? Let's give these guys fraud 1s and speed 2s, and that should get me more stuff out. Okay, so those we can do like that, and then this one we can just go efficiency module 1 to speed module 2. Can I now? I can't. Interesting. So even though there's an upgrade planned, I can't actually just force that module in. I have to wait for the bots to turn up and do a thing. Okay. So this is going to be, yeah, this is going to give us 25% more crafting speed and a productivity bonus. I think, how many of these guys do I have? 51. So that's going to be slightly more than a full yellow belt with my productivity bonuses. And it's going to be a bit more actually. And this belt is currently not fully moving. So I reckon get some more modules in here, we'll get all this going right. Like it doesn't even matter that I've got a coverexable amount of stuff. Actually, there's less there, isn't there? Because I moved some over to my fuel non-buffer. But it doesn't even matter that I've got a coverexable amount of the fancy stuff, because I just don't have enough of the boring stuff to also keep that going. So that's the first thing to look at, I guess. Where do I have this thing here? Because if I'm not making enough gas for red chips, that's also a problem. Because a lot of things depend on the red chips. So yeah, I think I'm also going to keep a mixed trains thing for a while going. Actually, kind of. This train here, I reckon, wants to just stop. Because all of these crystals, like I've got a couple of places around the place. Yeah, that I wonder if I can find one. Oh, there's one by the purple signs, isn't there? There's this one here, which still has, yeah, 2.3k of these crystals that I'm using for train fuel, in addition to what's already in the trains and also what's in the request chests by all these stations. So I think we try and run down these fuel supplies a little more before we try and swap out the other trains. But the thing I was going to do is, yeah, this gas is unhappy. This gas is only just unhappy. I think we can probably make that better. Where is this train? It's here. So this train is waiting for a station to indicate that it has gas to give, and this one is close, but we still need to do this a bit better. And I haven't actually left a whole lot of space for beacons here, have I? This has not been particularly great, but I think we can just do the same efficiency 1 to speed 2 on all of this cracking. And then they'll have 2 speed 2s, a prod 1. I'm fine with that. My power grid is fine. The thing I will need to do is, yeah, because I've probably got... Crude is fine. Yeah, I just need to speed up the light cracking. But I think also... Let's module this not with efficiency modules either. Let's give this... Yeah, let's give the speed 1. I think we're going to go speed 1 and 2 prod 2s for all of these things. Which, again... I mean, there is the space in here to beacon stuff. This side doesn't have beaconable space, which I feel pretty bad about, but whatever. But these are... Yeah, these are all Logibots taking rail way over to the left, where we put down the buffer chest, which is another thing that... we could get around to also having the bots just do at some point. Okay, so these are going to go to speed 3 and 2 prod 2s, which is going to get us, productivity bonuses are nice. We're then also going to get all of these guys modeled slightly better. This is still not... I mean, I could think about rebuilding this now, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure somewhere... Oh, yeah, these were the other recipes that made... I should definitely visit the beacons and throw in that recipe, because these things are a whole lot better. Somewhere there were better, just straight up better petrochem recipes that I haven't really looked at or done anything with yet. So I don't even mind this being a non-beaconed, not particularly good, just put some modules in that thing, because I think we're going to come back at some point and do something with some of these anyway, especially as we also need to make the fuel that these guys need for their train stuff. Okay, what's next on this list of stuff that we were doing? We wanted to go see... Yeah, we wanted to go see the beacons so that we can change all those recipes to the new versions we've just got. And then also, do we want to start working on... These guys got a decent amount of stuff, haven't they? I reckon we can at this point. And we're just going to do like the risky and aggressive thing of tearing down all of those things. And maybe they end up in the buffer chest. Maybe the bots are just going to fly a super long way and be kind of annoying, but never mind. And then also just start building this grid out as well. And then we're going to need, more radars. Do I even have radars? Here's a radar. And I guess we just keep going with this. And again, we're going to build out the middle first and then build out the outsides once we've got a position. Okay, so these guys should have... Yeah, so we can go from 10 to 8 green wire for each of these things, which makes it slightly more efficient on the inputs, which is fine. These ones will also go from 10 to 8 red wire. Okay, that's that's a thing that I'm okay with. Wait, I've got another beacons thing down here. Yeah, so let's change all of these as well, because making all of this more efficient is a thing that's kind of good, but these also aren't the ones that matter. Tier 2 recipe, beacons are here. Yeah, so all of that is now going to be more efficient. The one that's really an issue is these ones over here, which want to be, that go from 6 to 4. That's actually quite a big deal. And then, yeah, you guys just have whatever I've got in my inventory that you can have. There's no, yeah, I can't module those at all. Is the uranium going harder now? It is. Is this line? This line is not fully moving, but I'm going to be getting out. What, these speeds are 25% now, and then there's another bit of productivity, so I'm getting like maybe 30% more out on this side, and then I'm using 50% less. So I think that probably works. Let's also just, yeah, have you wander over here. I'm probably gonna still. Okay, so this is kind of okay. We've still got a bit of a reservoir of that energy, and then we're not, like, we're only pumping into these. Actually, yeah, I think part of the issue is that the uranium arrives here on a train, and these guys produce a ton of it, and it fills up this tank, and then the overflow ends up over here, and like this, the overflow is taken to the other beacon core node, which is fine, but then my buffer here is only this much, and then when I don't get the uranium and this runs out, then the tier 2 beacons shut off, which is a bit unfortunate. Not really what we want to happen. Hopefully that change makes that a bit better. But yeah, in the same way, a similar thing, that wasn't actually getting the train key, was it? The steel was a thing that I was looking at. Actually, it's not too far, I could have walked. Because, yeah, last time we added this steel, and it's still just powered by this patch. I'm there now. Yeah, it's still just powered by this patch, and so we're fully utilizing this patch now, but it's all kind of bad in that I really didn't add much steel when what I needed to do was add quite a lot of steel. What are bots complaining about? Are they missing structure robots? That's fine. And yeah, I think the things that need to happen are, yeah, to get more. Actually, let's also, given that we're right next to the RCUs, let's do the other thing I was thinking about doing, which is bumping the RCUs up to Prod Mod 3 level. Yeah, do I need... I also don't think I need that much of a buffer, do I? And I think I would rather not have that buffer, given that I'm kind of low on red chips. So yeah, so that's going to do that, and then we can have, like, this pattern is pretty good for being able to have beacons in here like so. This isn't the other thing that I was going to be beaconing today, but these beacons will mean, this is probably going to make the modules faster than they need to be, and probably I can also have other beacons on the outside, but I also don't think they super matter, because the plan is to kind of block the RCU, so I'm not consuming the red chips until I've done something more about my red chip supply. But the other thing, yeah, it was steel, wasn't it? Yeah, this whole collection here is kind of bad, and I think these belts have to supply this thing, and also the one over to the left. And then this we turn from an output train to an input train, which probably means we should start by moving this input station somewhere else, such as the next iron is a long way away, and we've got, I mean, this iron patch is pretty big, we're not doing much with it yet. I reckon we can have it, say, here. So we'll have an iron ore station here, and then this train station here, instead of having iron ore, we will turn this into a station that... Is it this one? It is. This station here. So this is now an iron request station. Yeah, this train is going to do some weird things, but never mind. Yeah, because we want all of... Yeah, we want to turn this into a supply station. So that we can get more iron ore out and use this train station to supply this steel. But actually, this isn't even the reason I was here at all. The main reason I was here is the thing that I realized is, like, I'm making quite a lot of these modules now, and they give me good productivity. And so I was wondering if I can put those modules in these module slots, and it turns out I can. So I did some math and figured out how many of these modules I want in kind of in each of these things, because yeah, so the purifiers can't have these modules, but that's fine. In this case, the purifiers want a speed and an efficiency module each. They get hitboxes, cool, and an efficiency module. I mean, you don't really need an efficiency module. They're not particular power hogs, and power is fine now. And yeah, the other thing about this is, that's actually probably the bigger point worth mentioning. None of these arc furnaces and these metal casters don't have pollution ratings, which means that these modules that do awful things, like they do terrible things to my energy consumption, that's fine, got some good nuclear, they do terrible things to the pollution as well, which doesn't matter because these things just don't pollute. So what did I decide for this? Yeah, I decided for this that I can speed up the purifiers so I get more out. If I then give... Where is this? Yeah, this one wants a Stokes 2 and speed 3, with the result that this thing is now at 15% crafting speed, which is kind of balanced to these things, because these ones are now 20% faster. So we've got the purifier is going to back up, but that's fine. These things are going to get 15% more out, and then these guys, if I give them 2 Stokes modules, I'm now getting 30% more steel out. Actually, a bit more than that, because these productivity bonuses are kind of multiplicative, but also the crafting speed is garbage, so we've got to put a bunch more beacons in. The thing I only just realized is that the beacons were going here, but probably on the other side of the belt, except I haven't quite left that much space, so never mind about that. We'll do all of this stuff first, I guess. Give me these back, and then a speed 3. And this is going to get me significantly more stuff out after I beacon these things. And I guess that means we've got to beacon these things. Can I... Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff on both sides, isn't there? Because what I really wanted was... Okay, I think we're getting rid of these things as well. Because it turns out I have to underground these belts to get the speed beacons I want in. Because I needed... Yeah, I needed... 4... This is down mess, but never mind. Yeah, I needed 4 speed 3 beacons per metal caster to get these up to speed. Is that... Plus 30% speed? I think that's actually going to be fine, isn't it? I think it's just going to be these... That is not the... Speed plus 50. Okay. So is this actually the pace? This might actually... I might only need to get 2 beacons per metal caster, because this looks like it's the speed that I need it to be. Because I need... Yeah. So these ones are slightly faster, 15% crafting speed, and then another 10% productivity stuff coming out. These ones are a bit faster than that, which means that, yeah, it looks like it's keeping up. So maybe I actually only need 2 speed beacons. And this, yep, that's good, because that means that's a whole lot easier to implement over here. We can have this thing here, it's fine, didn't get hit by the train. And then, yeah, so this one needs one more. Yep, that's... Is this one getting... Yes. Okay. Yeah, things we decided to do after we realized that we were fine with beaconing with normal beacons because the mod beacons were weird. So this should give us... Yeah, so this particular set of ratios hopefully works out. We should now be taking more stuff off the belt. In fact, the steel throughput ratios should be quite a bit better because we're taking, we're purifying 20% more off the belt because we are, this purifiers are sped up. We're getting 10% productivity at the furnaces, 20% productivity at the casters, and hopefully these ratios and these beacons and also this garbage means that everything is still kind of running and fine. So we've now got significantly more steel out if we implement this beaconing pattern at these other ones too, and okay, this one has enough space. This one has also got some silly stuff in the middle. Okay, the thing that we will need to do is also then speed module the purifiers that are purifying. Is this... What is this set to? More than 40k, and then this one is pumping out if I've got more than... Yeah, let's bump this up to 400k. Let's have a lot of dirty water. And then these ones also These ones are only dealing with an overflow anyway, so I don't really mind those guys. They can just go fast, and they will process what they need to, if they need to. And then let's module the rest of these guys with, yeah, speed ones in the purifiers. Getting, cool, yeah, pipes. And then efficiency ones that I don't really need, but we're going to do anyway. And then the power grid is going to be significantly worse off because we are dropping, yeah, these efficiency modules, which were making things better, are being replaced by modules that make things worse, and then modules that make things significantly worse. Actually, let's do a quick comparison. Well, how much power grid are we looking at? We used to be cutting 60% off and we were using 160 kilowatts. Okay, fine. We are now modulating it pretty heavily, and it's using 1.24 megawatts, which is also fine. I mean, this is not even a whole lot in comparison to the other crushers and things like that we had. So that's fine. And then these guys needed, yeah, we needed these, and then we needed 4 beacons each. Can I fit those in here? I think I actually don't need that one at all. Yep. Yep. So we're getting more steel out. This is good. These guys will need one somewhere else as well. In fact, this one needn't be here at all. This one can be here. Is that true? This guy's now getting 3. Which means I guess I move this one. Yeah, we can just do some of this differently. It'll be fine. And then we want to speed 3s and all these. This needs to go underground to somewhere. So each of these have got 2 modules, and this guy's got not got any modules. Okay, that's a bit easier to line up then, isn't it? Because this guy just needs 2 modules. So we can just go... I don't really want to module this thing as well. Although I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? So one of these... This guy's now going to back up because it's got 2... Oh no, it's only got 1 speed module. Okay. So these guys are all at the same rate. This guy's also got an efficiency module. Congratulations, you're special. And then we're just getting more steel out. So that's nice. I'm going to do... Yeah, so this one is hopefully going to be pretty easy because there's actually space to put the beacons in a fairly effective way. And yeah, this just means we're going to get more stuff out, which I like. And also the important thing about this is this is not this pattern is not belt limited on the outputs. Like there's just a ton of belt space here because yeah, I started thinking about this in terms of the iron supply, and in the iron supply case it's a little bit worse off. I think those are all the modules I need. Bots can take care of those. Yeah, that's most of the steel. There's also the steel happening over here, which I guess we'll do in between, and it'll be fine. Not going to do that now. Let's go and talk about iron and copper, because there's a similar kind of thing, but it's also slightly different. Bots are complaining about not having construction robots. Okay, fine. Keeping bots busy is good. Worker robot speed, getting that going is also pretty good. Yeah, so let's leave that there for a moment. What am I doing? I think I just rotated something. There was... Oh no, I think I just... There was a click that I didn't quite recognize. That might have been... It doesn't look like it was me disconnecting a power pole. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so I'm not quite getting 2 full red belts out of this. Like this line of thought started off with, can I just beacon this? Can I just module this to get this into 2 red lines of copper? And the answer to that I reckon is yes, and it's going to use less than the stuff over here. But in this case, we don't actually need to speed mod the purifiers because we actually don't have belt space. What we want to do is just, yeah, these arc furnaces. Give me all of these back. And then one of the Stokes modules, and then a speed 2. So these are only speed 2s because I can handle slightly less crafting speed because I want about the same amount of stuff out, because when I... Where can I get to reach these guys? Yeah, when I module all of these things and then beacon all of these guys, that's going to get me... Yeah, I don't need more productivity from the furnace or more speed from the furnace once I'm getting this productivity here. But the thing is, these guys need 3 beacons each? Yes. But also, we're gonna beacon these guys in a kind of weird way, in that I want a beacon that has a speed 3, 1 speed 3, and 1 efficiency 3. Because if I get 3 modules like this, 3 beacons like this, this ends up about the speed bonus that these things need to saturate 2 red belts. And actually that one can stay. Yeah, maybe I should have some personal bots. Because, yeah, the bots are just a long way away at the moment, aren't they? And they're all kind of busy and complaining about having too many jobs. So that's fine. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we've got space to fit these beacons in if I can figure out how to get in 3 per... Yeah, if I can figure out how to get in 3 per... 1, 2, and then I guess 1... Yeah, these beacons have to be next to each other. Then this one has to be set back, yes. Because we've also got to get these belts out here. Oh, that's going to be an interesting issue, isn't it? 5, so this one... Maybe I just put them on the other side. I think it's going to be the easier thing to do, yeah. Yep, that's what we're doing. Yeah, so these beacons are going to be... This guy has 3 beacons. This one has 3 beacons. This has 1, 2 beacons. Do I want to use this space? I think I might have to use that space. Actually, the beacons have to be together, don't they? Because that's the only way that I can jump these things underground. Yeah, we're gonna run into some interesting inserter problems trying to fit in all these inserters, but I think it's probably fine. Because also this one is now running this way into a roboport. Cool. Okay, that's probably fine. We are probably fine with that. Yeah, because it's going to be here. Like, we're going to get halfway down to about here, and then this one is going to go like so, and then all these guys can just have two fast inserters, I guess. This one's going to want one maybe two before. Yeah, sure, let's say that works. These guys are not getting the same rate of output inserters, are they? They might be. This is a disappointment, but not ultimately a particularly bad thing, I don't think. I don't really want... Let's just see if that configuration took. It did, okay. And then these ones are unlimited, and that went there. Okay, so... Yeah, this... If we can figure out how to beacon the rest of these things in this way, maybe we just also... Yeah, I think the easier thing to do... Yep, we're not going to do that at all. We're going to do a completely different thing of... that's also kind of ugly. We don't need to do that there. We can do that here. This was supposed to be a simple thing of, hey, here's a quick thing we can hack in to get us a bunch more metal out. That isn't too much of a big deal, and it turned out to not really be that at all. We've had to reorganize quite a lot of stuff to fit in all of these things. Oh well. Yeah, so if you get... There's no way you can reach both of them. Oh well. There, and then... There. So you guys... You've got these three. You have... 1, 2, 3 here. You have these three. You have this one, this one, this one. Then you guys do need one more. Okay. That's all kind of fine. Where are these bigger power poles? I'm not even going to worry about how this looks at this point. This is just, yeah, it's fine. Okay. Then the other place where we're going to put this output line is just through here. And then we're going to do this similar trick also here, I guess. Yeah, this is also a bit of a mess, but oh well. Output that on the inside, yeah, and then get all this stuff going again. Really? Really? Okay, so all of this is going to be kind of slow until the bots turn up with these beacons. Wait, this one wanted some on each side, yeah. Okay. All of this is going to be kind of slow until bots turn up with these beacons, so I reckon I actually throw these beacons, cool. Yeah. Yeah, let's at least throw these in myself to see whether or not we get the rates of stuff we're expecting, because that's kind of why we're doing this. We want to see... I mean, this is not really turned into a low effort thing anymore. This is being a bit of a pain. I'm not there. And I've only got one more speed module. Okay. Cool. Yeah, one of these can go here, then we want one of these in each of... You know what, let's give this speed 2s. And then also just have the bots, when they get around to it, upgrade the 2s to the 3s. That's going to get more stuff done. And this also should mostly get us at... Yeah, so this speed is not much faster. But it turned out that... Yeah, when I was looking at the rates of these things coming out, this is, what, 5 per second? And so 10 of these things is 50 per second. So to get to the 60 per second that fills 2 red belts, I only need this 20% productivity and then the same crafting speed. So that's yeah, hopefully how those ratios worked out. So this module structure is what I'm going to move other smelting patches to probably in between, because I think that was not worth it. That's where we've ended up. Let's actually check on the petrochem. How's the grid build doing? Oh, the grid, yeah, the bots are just flying a long way. I guess also because I've got fewer bots than I used to, and I guess also because when they were clearing up all of the landmines and stuff, they were just flying the rest of the length of the map. These guys are going faster. My K2 beacons might have stopped. Then let's also check on the red chips and see whether these have gas. And these do not have gas again. So I am making red chips. And yeah, these guys have only got half their beacons coming out, so my K2 beacons have kind of stopped. So one of the other things I was considering doing is, I think, going and tapping this uranium and just getting another source of uranium coming back. Is that what I want to do now? What other things were... Oh yeah, there was I was going to look at moduling the uranium and the ceramics and things like that as well, because I reckoned there were some other recipes that could probably benefit from this productivity. Like if we find... Where is the uranium? Not uranium, aluminium. These 3 stations here are the aluminium pattern. Because aluminium, actually, and also titanium, that was the other thing I was doing. That was the other thing that I've remembered I was doing, is my dirty water situation, my rich water situation is... Actually, the rich water's fine, but the titanium, I'm pretty sure, is pretty bad. And I did have these other ingot solutions that would let me use different modules and different factories and plug in those things differently. So maybe we do that as well. These guys can have modules. Do these guys... These guys can't have any more stuff, but I think I go with the moduling of these things that let me more or less maintain the same throughput. Because this will save me material. So this is 5%, and then we can have... that was me picking up aluminium from in the middle of things, apparently. And then we can get the... so if I'm maintaining throughput of these things, the beacons that I want is I want... 3 of these things per... Why did that all stop? Oh, because I unset the recipe. That was a silly thing. Don't know how I did that. Did I have an unset recipe somewhere? Oh well. Okay, so if I have... Yeah, do I have... I do have these. And the easiest way to do this is going to be to move... Yeah, to move this thing. Which we're just going to do. And then here's going to get coverage to all of those things, and then here's going to power all those things, and then this is going to need to extend it there, and then we're going to do kind of a similar thing over here. I probably should really have personal robots to clear out all these trees, just because waiting for bots to do all of this is going to be a bit of a shame, but never mind. That's what we're going to do anyway. This can go this far. We can have another one of these beacons here. One of these here. Okay, so we're now getting more aluminium out, and then we also want to do basically the same setup, but also over here, just to be getting more stuff out, basically. 17 of these modules left. Yeah, did I want everything today to be about modules? And then there's also this... There's also these other aluminium stashes, which I just don't need anymore. I don't need these aluminium stashes anymore, because all the things that I was using this for are now just being Logimold. So that's also fine. Those boxes can go away. And then these are moduled. Do I still have this in my paste buffer? Kind of, but also this thing needed to go away. And yeah. Okay, so this is going to extend... I've only got a couple of these beacons left, yeah. This is not going to extend the ceramics production at all, which is fine. This is actually going to reduce the amount of dirty water I produce as a byproduct, because the dirty water is coming out at this stage, and I've now got 30% productivity in between those. Anyway, never mind. Move that back to storage, which is also going to be another thing that feels pretty bad for bots. Oh, that's the other thing that I wanted to check with Orchid Module, wasn't it? I think... Like, the other thing that I'm aware of as being quite the resource hog is... Oh, yeah. These guys... They almost certainly can, because all these compound material facilities seem to be doing that. But the other one I wanted to check was, in fact, not this one. It was... Is it down here? Is the fancy acid, the hydrofluoric acid, that does... Yeah, do these things over here take... They do take fancy modules. And then does this acidic water... The acidic water doesn't. But I can't, because these things use a phenomenal amount of all kinds of things. But if I give you 2 of those each, then the pollution is, yeah, way off the chart. Okay, I think you get... But is this still better than... Because there's only a few buildings that are doing this, and then I also wanted speed 3s in here. And that pollution is now completely mental. These are... maybe the most polluting things I've got, and they're also low on crafting speed now. But I did want to hit this with this thing. So if these things are 40% down on crafting speed, and I'm going to take it from 60% crafting to... Wait, no, is that 30? Yeah, 30% speed to 50% speed. These things will end up with... Yeah, nearly... Actually, it's going to be producing this fancy acid at about the same rate, but with using 20%, using not all that many raw ingredients, a reduced number of raw ingredients. Do these things probably don't do that, and also I don't care about these aren't really the point at all. That's, yeah, then, yeah, the titanium is running again. Kind of. I was under the impression I was short of titanium. Maybe it's just because there's been a crystals delivery going somewhere. But the titanium we can module in several places. But the other thing we absolutely want to do first, or like at the same time, the main thing to figure out is how to get these ingot factories into the mix. I don't have ingot factories with me at the moment. Okay, so we're going to go back to the mall. Actually, I don't need to do that here. I can do that at the mall. Yeah, let's go back to the mall, because I'm pretty sure I'm making ingot factories. Let's check on the labs, because things seem to have slowed down recently. Maybe it's a rocket launch thing. Where are all the labs? Are all the way over here. Yeah, they've kind of slowed down a bit, haven't they? And it is not a rocket launch thing. It's a yellow science thing. This one is short of purple science. I thought I had a lot of purple science. I've got a lot of military science. So let's check on yellow science. So these, yeah, this guy's still doing everything it needs to. Yellow science is doing whatever it can at whatever rate it can. Purple science is also just going at it. Not especially well. I don't have any spare beacon. I have one spare beacon. Never mind, not going to worry about that. And then military science was the thing that I had a ton of, wasn't it? Military science is now backed up on the belt. Okay, you don't need to be making that anymore. Because if all of this backs up, then I'm pretty sure this stone belt... What are you guys doing? You guys can disappear now. Let's not cut the water feed. Does this light oil doesn't go anywhere else either, does it? So yeah, we can just get rid of... let's not delete that one though. And then actually all of that. So that's tidied a thing up slightly, maybe. If I don't need that light oil feed, then all of that could just go as well. Sure, maybe that was making things better. Yeah, because this stone feed here is the thing that makes all these bricks, and if this backs up, then more of this stone gets through to these ceramics, which is still a bad recipe, but it's fine, and that gets me more red chips, which gets me more of these modules, which is also a thing that I'm fine with. Okay, somewhere... yeah, I had stuff that I didn't want. We got some wood, we got some copper, we got some steel, we got some ceramics, we got some things like that. I needed... yeah, I kind of needed more of these modules. Oh, well, never mind. I've also got 3 of these things, which are still not Logimol, but never mind. Yeah, are these the arc furnaces? Where are the ingot makers? Are you an ingot maker? You're an oil processing facility. Why do you only have 6 of these? Oh, because these are... okay, so let's do another thing in a kinda weird way. This is going to be enough for... yeah, let's actually do it this way around, because these guys have got the power poles in them as well. And then we don't actually want these things. What we want is, and I'm pretty sure these are in the network somewhere, we want some of these. And then this can request stone, like, say, 200 stone. And these are also limited to 2 stacks. Let's let these guys, you know, they can make a bit of stuff, it's fine. And now, actually, I don't want the request on the other one. But this should let us call a train in here. The RCUs, I don't need the RCUs train at all, because the RCUs are entirely delivered by Logibot from that little thing down there, which also doesn't have all its beacons now, but whatever. And so where's the RCU station? This RCU station can instead be a request for just stone. And then this can also just do, like, if I ever have less than, say, 400 stone. So yeah, so we're now calling more things in, which is fine. So we're going to have a bunch of stone floating around here as well, which means that these guys will be able to request stone, and then also make the stone blocks, which I currently don't have, which will help make me, which will let me make oil refineries, which will then let me make the oil processing facilities, which are these things. And then somewhere there was also an ingot. It was one of these ones, wasn't it? This one is the liquid heat exchanger, okay, sure. And then this one was ingot factory. Yes, ingot factories are what we want. I think this is going to end up being the last thing that we do this episode. And I've got a bunch of beacons. Wait, let's first, just before we run off, check what this ingot factory can actually do. Because I want to make titanium ingots. Yes. And it will take modules, which is cool. It's got 2 module slots. It will give me ingots out and also slag, which I don't really know what I'm doing with yet. And then ingots turn into plates in an assembly machine. That's interesting. Okay, so let's go to the beacon facility, because all my bots are kind of busy doing stuff, and I do have logistics slots free, don't I? Yeah, I just don't have purple science. There's probably a train running around somewhere trying to bring that stuff in. Waiting at yellow science. Yeah, it's just been to purple science. It's doing a science collection route, so I'm kind of happy with my science usage spiking up and down like that. It's just going to get things done. That's kind of what rail bases will look like when they're doing that stuff. I was going to The bots have kind of built this stuff. Okay, I guess we just kick this off again. I said I was going to go visit the front in this episode, and we're kind of not doing that yet. Give me some of these. And then these guys are also just waiting on module 1s, prod mod 1s. Is that a red chips thing? Does this... Yeah, now I don't want that output priority, because I need to be sending these things both ways so that I get some amount of stuff here. Yeah. Let's also... We're going to do this so only the prod 2s go past, so that we've got all the prod mods 1s will get eaten by this thing, which is a little bit ugly, but whatever. Okay, let's go and find that titanium we were just looking at. And then I think this is going to be some stuff we have to look at for all of the other... Because there's also, over in the blue chips, wherever the blue chips are, here, there's this thing here which is making gold, and probably the ratios are the same for all of these things, right? 175 to 1, yeah, all of these... So if we figure out how modules will work for this, we will have a good pattern for all of these things. If I want to... This guy does look like he's throughput limited. So we can just... I reckon we can just make that happen like so, and then figure out... Wait, also the metal casters aren't a thing now either, because these things are making the ingots from... Okay. Sure. Actually, yeah, I haven't actually looked at speeds and things like that either. Titanium, because I might need more than one of these. You are making 5 a second, but less than that, but it's also kind of dependent on how much these guys are pulling out. I think we're going to go to... Okay, yeah. 70% is like... a disappointing amount of speed, though. So we're going to do... Actually, is that true? It's not, because we're probably going to beacon all of this, because I suspect these guys are 1.75 every 1.2 seconds. And this guy is like 5 times that speed. Okay, yeah, so... Do we still module this? I mean, this is another good opportunity to get some modules in here, but I think we actually want... I think we skip modulating this step, because this is already a kind of slow thing. And we instead think about... Maybe we want to beacon that as well, but actually the other thing we wanted... Oh, I should have brought my own assembler, shouldn't I? Because I actually don't have one of the assemblers that I need at the moment. Disappointed face. Red chips will have assemblers, won't they? Yeah, we need to get this thing to figure out whether or not what kind of... Yeah, actually it won't take regular prod mods. It might take the special prod mods, but also how fast... Oh, okay. This is super fast again. This speed matches 1 ingot every 2 seconds. More or less matches this rate. So that means we need just more of... Yeah, we need to beacon this thing pretty heavily, and then we also need a filter inserter to deal with the slag. I mean, I've also just blasted the entire titanium processing from the entire facility, so this is a thing that will make purple science and yellow science kind of sad, because how much titanium... you've still got a bit of titanium, so we're going to get a bit out of that. I think I just walk away and... I think we just... Yeah. I might even think about what these ratios are and come back at the beginning of the next episode of Build This, because the other thing I wanted to do, maybe with a slightly higher degree of priority, is... Yeah, I wanted to run out here. This will be like the last... I think this is going to be... Yeah. aborted build because we kind of need to get some things, need to figure out what beacons go in them, but the ability to get 20% here and then another 10% productivity here and then another maybe even 40% productivity on, yeah, now it's arrived, maybe even another 40% productivity on the ingots to plates means that we can get quite a lot of titanium out of these things, which is important because we need like lots of gold and lots of neodymium and things like that, and that's not a fuel that I can use. Yeah, let's, as this last thing, let's go and make a bunch more of these things. I was going to do, yeah, so there's a bunch of bases we pushed, landmines that are not here anymore. I think we are going to do a grid breaking thing, and I think we're going to do a grid breaking thing and also another build train, and that might happen even before we fix the titanium we just put down. And the question is, how far does, oh, this is one we've got to go around the top. Because having bots fly all this way, especially as we built, like we moved the mall to the east when we did this out to the east. And this is the forest that I've got to go around the top of. And so trying to fly bots all this way, even with robot worker speed 6, is going to be a disaster. So that's going to keep bots busy for a while, which is also going to make it more difficult to do the ingots build. No, because we're going to break the grid again. We will break the grid again out this side. We're also kind of checking for expansions at this point, and then also I want to check what the Evo is, and then we'll call the episode there. I do have a couple of landmines, but it's not really enough. Like, I ran down all the grenades as well. And didn't actually restart production of other grenades. But that's okay. We're going to go on this tour. We've got a lot more territory now. We've got a lot of landmine things to get rid of. And we've got an expansion here, and we're at 0.85, which is kind of fine. 0.85 is, yeah, we've got several expansions. We're going to deal with these expansions, and then we're going to call this episode. 0.85 is still an amount of stuff that's pretty fine. I don't really want them spitting in places that will, yeah, and 0.85 is the Evo is still just big worms, which is fine. And we're not really concerned about that at all. We're losing some landmines, that's fine. Yeah, I think we'd probably even just leave these landmines. But yeah, we've still got, especially making everything as pollution efficient as we already have, I'm not really concerned about hitting behemoths anytime soon. But yeah, this space here is where I got to when I don't need this space, and pushing into just here's a ton of behemoth worms. It's just a base that more or less covers the map. That wasn't something I needed to do, so we're not. But how far are we getting? How far will we be building the grid is another interesting question, because we're already taking expansions here. We've got a couple expansions there. Probably we're getting expansions on the other side of the map as well. I reckon at least to the water. The water, in fact, that's probably a really good call, because this bit is slimmer, there's less to defend, we've got kind of a natural bottleneck, and there also aren't any resources between here and where the biters are. Just finished another tech, going into mining productivity 4, so that's kind of nice. I reckon that's going to be, where's my, I left a gun turret here. Why did I leave a gun turret there? Oh well. Did I leave a car here somewhere? No. Let's just intercept another attack party. Lure them over the landmines. That was not great. Yep, okay. So that's pretty good timing on intercepting another... Fuel won't work. On intercepting another expansion party. Yeah, we'll build the grid out to about here. Next time we're going to have to break this grid somewhere, because these bots are flying not just back to the regular mall that was here, but all the way to the actual mall that's over here with all the stuff. Although I guess there's also, yeah, there's also this buffer chest which is doing decent work, isn't it? Yeah, so But they might, yeah, trees and rocks might be going back to other places. Never mind. Yeah, called the episode here. Got some good stuff. Made a lot of beacons. Did a lot of moduling. Getting a lot more free stuff out. Still working on getting even more free stuff out. Got all the territory we need. Next time we need to go and look at these. Yeah, where are they? Where is this titanium thing that I kind of put back and broke? Yeah. This thing here is going to be more modules, and then we'll have probably some nodes that just do that, because I'm really not sure. Like, I might even flip this station around so that this is importing rich water, depending on exactly how many crystals we're using. I'm not even sure what I'm using those crystals for at the moment. Ooh, science? Anyway, yeah, good things. Got a lot of stuff done. That's episode 47.